And that meeting between the presidents Trump and Zelensky today increased concerns for Ukrainians and Ukrainian-Americans living in Pennsylvania. Fox 3 Sydney Nauman joins us now, and she sat down today with members of the central Pennsylvania community and where they stand with Ukraine, shares their perspectives on the meeting and what it could mean moving forward. Sydney.
Yeah, Marshall, today came as quite a shock to the members of the local Ukrainian community. The group of women I spoke with told me they feel that what happened in the meeting goes against American ideals. Experts say this could be a turning point for U.S. allies.
You're gambling with World War III.
An Oval Office eruption, which National Security Consultant Jeff McCausland says could be the start of separation for the United States.
Mr. Trump seems to be moving more and more towards what I would call a very transactional foreign policy.
Friday's failed transaction, which would have given the United States access to Ukraine's rare earth minerals, sparked uncertainty for more than 150,000 Ukrainian and Ukrainian-Americans living in Pennsylvania.
My initial reaction was shock and disbelief. Going from negotiating for peace to, not negotiating at all, not being ready is quite a drastic measure.
Maria Anosova Smith was born and raised in Ukraine before moving to the U.S. in 2009. She says an agreement between President Trump and Zelensky needs additional securities to prevent further aggressive actions from Russia.
Peace needs to be sustainable, fair, so the aggressor needs to be held accountable.
President Zelensky's push for more protections was met with intense pushback.
And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
That reverberated through the Oval Office and possibly the world, according to McCausland, who says America's non-European allies could begin questioning the credibility of their connections.
The Americans can walk away with from their European allies and from the Ukrainians. Will they defend us? And the answer is probably not.
Valeria Bisink grew up in Ukraine but has lived in South Central PA for the last 12 years. She says the messages of Friday's meeting go against American values.
A lot of Americans want to see America still very strong, not withdrawing from engagement on the global scene. America was founded on the values of freedom, and who has the values of freedom in this situation is that their ally Ukraine and not Russia.
Governor Shapiro sharing a similar sentiment, stating the Oval Office should be a place where we advance American values, not where we retreat from them. Several European leaders have also expressed their support for Ukraine following President Trump and President Zelensky's meeting today, including French President Emmanuel Macron and European Council President Antonio Costa. Many of their messages reiterated that Ukraine is the victim in this war, while Russia is the aggressor. It's a narrative that the individuals I spoke with today worry is getting muddled by meetings like the one today.
So, Sydney, as we're watching this play out, it seems there's a growing rift right now between the U.S. and its allies overseas. Did the national security advisor you spoke with explain why these relationships are becoming more contentious in his view?
Yeah, Marshall, he described it as a sort of chain reaction of concern. It's been an unprecedented week for foreign policy in the United States, and earlier this week, the United States split from its European allies by refusing to back a resolution that would have named Russia the aggressor in the war in Ukraine. That, paired with operating under a more transactional foreign policy, as he mentioned, he said it could lead to less credibility for the U.S. and forcing other nations to look inward for protection rather than relying on other alliances.
All right, Sydney, thank you.
Yeah.